yourself and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Sam. I'm based out in London with over 10 years of experience in real estate. I think for me, what international real estate means is really something that you build and what your brand means. Doing 10 years in central London and meeting all walks of life, people that are from Indian origin, Chinese origin, wherever they're from, seeing how their real estate market works. And I think it's very key to understand what they do and how they operate. And I think the biggest one and positive for me is if you can sell yourself without selling the product, I think that's the biggest achievement you can do in anything. And that's the biggest part for me. I don't want to hear at the back of them saying, thank you for the transaction. I want them to know that it was the transaction between us two that actually made the deal happen. And in the end, they recommend me to 10, 15 more people. So I think that's the big one for me, regardless of where they're from in the world.
Brilliantly said. Actually, I tell people that you don't sell a product or a service, you sell yourself. If people believe in you, they trust you, half the battle is already won. It's not about the product. It's definitely not about the service. And it's all about you. You're selling yourself because they don't know. They've never used the product. They've never seen you or utilized your service. So they don't know who you are. But very well said, Mohit. Thank you once again.
No worries.
On my right, and I'm saying right, but it's on my left here or whatever. I have Purva. So Purva, a little bit about yourself, your background, please. And thank you for being on the show again.
Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for this. Hi, everybody. I'm Purva Thakur. I'm here based in Ashburn, Virginia, very close to DMV. I've been in real estate since it's going to be now 8 years. Mm-hmm. Looking back, it feels like, oh, wow. But there are always new things that you are learning. For me, international business means a little bit, piggyback right on Mohit, what he said. And I believe that completely, that trust and relationship is the base of that. For me, building a relationship means that I'm building my network. I'm building my trustworthy people around me that can call me anytime, asking me my advice, saying that, Purva, I'm thinking of this. What's your thought? For me, that's the base and core of it. And that's very, very important for me.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to throw in hearts to each one of you once you give a good golden nugget. Well, the next one on the line is again from the UK. So, Jay, a little bit about yourself and thank you for being on the show.
No, thank you for having me. I'm Jay Thethy. I'm based in the UK, and I actually specialise helping clients in new build developments in the UK and recently Dubai. So I am venturing into other key global markets as well now, like India, for example. So, but my background, especially with the international market, has been when I was working for what they call Barclay Group. It's a FTSE 100 company in the UK. That's where I gained hands-on experience working with international agents and buyers, and that kind of really shaped how I approach the cross-border real estate with a focus on trust, transparency, long-term relationships. So so I'm currently just building my own brand now and networking under the EXP network and connecting with agents and investors across markets to make global real estate more accessible and more collaborative.
Fantastic. Thank you again for being with us. You've actually hit one very important part of what I say. I call it the HIT philosophy. I've used it for about 30 years. HIT is honesty, integrity, and transparency. And I believe in this very strongly. And I said, you could be anybody. You could do anything. You could give me any kind of positive, affirmation. But as long as if you don't have the HIT philosophy or you don't believe in the HIT philosophy, I'm not going to work with you. And I think that's helped me steadfast throughout all these years. And I've assured, and been assured that I'd be having the right kind of people, positive energy, positive people around me all the time. Thanks very much, Jay. So, well, right below me and in the center, I have Kunal with me. Kunal, we've of course known each other for a very long time, and I'd love others to know about that from yourself and your journey of in the past and what you do currently. And once again, thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely, Sam. Thanks for having me today. My background is I was born and raised in India, came to US 2001 to go to grad school, spent over a decade working in corporate America, worked for a consulting company at Deloitte and Touche. Then I was in the oil and gas industry. And then 2014, left corporate America and partnered with my brother-in-law to start a real estate team in Houston, Texas. And initially we were with the brand Remax for a number of years. And in 2018, we left Remax, moved over to eXp. We have a Mega Icon team in Houston. And for the last 7 years, every year our team is a Mega Icon team. And Houston is considered a melting pot of all the cultures, different background of people, very diverse. And 90% of our clientele is South Asian. And these clientele are from India, Pakistan, South Asia. And for lack of a better word, I'm of Indian origin, but to deal or work with Indians is not the easiest. It's very challenging. And over the years, we have crafted the strategy of how to engage with them more effectively. But the key is to build trust with them. And the real estate industry in India, historically speaking, has been one that is not trusted. Things are changing now. And this is where the partnership with eXp Global in India with Sam and your team will allow us to bridge the gap of lack of trust between international buyers from US or other countries want to buy real estate in India. That's where the gap is bridged. So I'm excited that eXp brand allows us to do global transactions seamlessly. This is where our mutual success will bring uplift the market and bring more success to all of us.
Absolutely, Kunal, absolutely. You said it right. And let me assure you that over the last 15 years, and I've been in the industry for 3 decades almost, but over the last 15 years, I think everybody's earned the trust. There is a lot of compliance, the Real Estate Regulatory Act that has come in. So transparency has set into the industry. You see a lot of women coming into the industry. You see a lot of, I'm a qualified chartered accountant, which is a CPA in the US and chartered accountant in the UK and Canada. So, like me, there are several hundreds of people who are accountants, doctors. In fact, we had a doctor yesterday, Bhamin from Boston on the show. I'm sorry, last week, my apologies, on the show. And what I see is a lot of qualified, professionals are joining it all across India. So this is a coveted and privileged profession now in India. And that is the respect that it started getting in India. So by all means, working in the industry per se, because we've got the National Association of Realtors in India as well, and our local associations. I'm from an association called the Association of Property Professionals, Delhi NCR. That's my local association. So we've ensured that the code of conduct, ethics, all of that is ingrained into our members, right from the local level to the national level. And of course, when you join an organization like eXp, then all the more it becomes even more, more focused in terms of ethics and best practices and professional conduct. So very well taken, and thank you again for being there. Well, now we have on my right and center, I have Anu Goswami. And Anu, over to you. Please share a little bit about yourself, your background, how long you've been in Canada, where you're in Canada, and again, thank you for being on the show. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sam. I begin with the humble thanks to you, Sam, as well as your team for organizing this platform for the cross-border conversations that we are having today and the cross-border collaboration. So about me, I'm in real estate for the last 7 years and with eXp almost 4.5 years. And before putting my step into real estate, I was working as a flight attendant here in Canada. I took a little break because my kids were growing, they needed me more.
So, and then I ventured into real estate business, which I'm loving. And I like to learn so many things on the side. So I'm a certified EXP mentor. I'm a certified coach. I'm running a successful real estate business as well as coaching business. My niche would be I like more to work with first-time home buyers and love to be a part of their journey, like their first house. I would say that the for anyone in any business as well, but specifically when we are talking about real estate, I would say the clients they need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. Only then they'll be able to do a smooth transaction with you. So building the trust is most important. We as human beings, we know that we are in the real estate business, and this business is a contact sport. So to build a real estate successful, we have to have those connections first with the people, and then the transactions they flow automatically.
Absolutely. One common thread, all throughout has been, trust, and it's all about trust. I remember Conrad Hilton said, what do you need? What are the three things that you look for in a hotel? And his statement was, it's location, location, location. And I think in real estate, which is similar to the hospitality industry, is really a derivative, and Sunny would probably say that as well. And here, it's all about trust, and more trust. Thank you again, Anu. Harsimran, over to yourself. Thank you for being on the show, and tell us more about yourself. And I know you're from Surrey, but tell us more, and tell us where Surrey is also. A lot of people here may not know where Surrey is, but I was pleasantly surprised to hear that you have a huge Indian population over there, but more from you.
Thank you very much, Sam, for inviting me. It's so nice to see agents from all over, Indian origin agents from all across the globe. I see them at the EXP Icon events. We see them at all I've definitely seen a few of you and met a few of you at all the events. It's so nice to see everybody collaborating. And so Surrey people do confuse Surrey with the Surrey in UK. And we have a Surrey, which is very close to Vancouver. Everybody knows Vancouver. So we're this, what do you call that? The Brampton or the Mississauga, or the Brampton for Toronto. We're very similar. We've got a very big base of Indian origin. A lot of first generation Canadians like myself, and then there's a lot of people that have been here since Komagara. So we have a very big population of Indian origin, people that do have a lot of connection. They travel a lot. Everybody's excited to go back to India every year. So that's been a very big part of why we've we're joining Global Hands. Myself, I run a small team. It's a growing team. We're not very big. Surrey's not it's compared to Mississauga, one of the bigger cities in Canada. We're still big. We're like, you can say, we're not the Delhis and Mumbais of India, but we're still, let's say, Chandigarh. So Surrey is a very small knit community. We run a small team, a growing team. We've been very successful as an Indian origin team here in the local market. So myself, I've been in real estate for the last 2 decades. And sorry, not in real estate. I've been in sales for the last 2 decades. We've been selling real estate for the last 6 years. Very successful. We had good success with collaborating with people in India, especially, and in the States. We've done numerous transactions just by the help of agents that are still rooted in India. And it's been a very good journey for myself being an EXP. And that's a little story. And very good to connect with all of you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Harsimran. And from a cold climate of Surrey, I presume Vancouver being cold, Surrey would also be a cold climate. We'll go down southwards to a more warmer climate. We have nice and sunny weather in sunny California and over to Sunny. So welcome, Sunny, to the show.
Sam, thank you so much for having me here and for the opportunity. Happiness always, everyone. And this is Sunny Singh. I'm born in Indian Air Force family in North India and brought up all over India. And bringing up all part of India, you learn a lot. You learn the culture, you learn the dialogues. So there was the time I used to speak 5 languages: Marathi, Punjabi, Assami, Assam language, and Bihari, Bhojpuri was of course there. Kind of that landed in US, selected by the company to come here and educate, cross training and all. Luckily, they was not aware that my wife's side is here, and somehow transfer everything after that coming here. But long story short, I landed in a real estate. My background was in American home mortgage, which crashed, and then came to the hotel industry, which I am right now. And for next 15 days, then I'll be out of this industry also, and full-time realtor. So my real estate story began when my partners did not give me the partnership on time. So if they would have given me, I would have never been landed here. And so this is my 5th year in real estate and 4.5 years with eXp. And about the international, so I think real estate is a relationship business. Everybody, if you, it's all about, I follow the principle of Indian Armed Forces. Is called in Hindi Naam, Namak, and Nishan. So Naam is a name you wear on your uniform. Nishan means the impact, and Namak means the the country ka. Namak is integrity and honesty. You can say that. So if you are dealing with any transaction, I want to make sure, apart from making my commission, what impact I'm leaving on them. Okay. So that is my whole motto in any transaction. I always get transaction from going to this con shareholder summit, and every time I get lucky with some international transaction. So I've done so far 4 transactions. I hope I answered.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, guys. Thank you for letting us know who you are, what you've done in the past, etc. And I'm now going to go to Mohit. Mohit, you've been into real estate for a long time. I remember having a lovely meal with you in London just few weeks ago. And thank you for being such a wonderful host.
No problem.
And I heard a little bit about your story, and I know that you work in the UAE also. You do some developments as well, and more importantly, you were in a large brokerage in an estate agency at some point of time and grew that business as well. And made it really large. So I'd love to know more about that. But Mohit, when you built something and led high-performing real estate teams for years during that period, when someone decides to go international, which you did also, what are the first systems or habits you think they must set up before even chasing clients overseas?
I think the first one's got to be know your market. You cannot go to any international market without knowing the people, without knowing the culture, without knowing how things work there. I'm sure transactions here will work very different to some of the fellow people on this call out in Canada, out in America. The systems that you guys have in place, we may not have it. We may have systems that you may not have. So I think it's first understanding exactly how systems work and how the culture is. We also make it personable to make international reach happen. And I think Sunny said it right at the end. He was like, it's not about earning the commission. It's about making sure that you see that person through. And I think the biggest one is, for me, consistency. Don't overpromise if you don't understand what you're about to go into or what market you're about to lead. Once you understand it, then you can portray, this is what I can do for you. And then we can become consistent by doing it over and over again. And the biggest one for me is, I mean, not just for me, I'm guessing everyone on this call, social media. I mean, today, social media is everything. You put a post out on Instagram, someone will reach out to you and say, hey, loved your video. Can you come and see my things? Hey, I see your branding. Can you help me out with the branding? So that's massive. And I think the best one of all is always catch up with your client. It's the aftercare which made me realize when I was building those teams and I was building those clients out, and then we started getting some international reach. I mean, but I think I'm not sure how long everyone's been in EXP, and I've only just joined in April, so I'm very new, only 6 months. But in the 6 months, it's those relationships that I built when I was running that large team out in London for a very, very large estate agency. And then I realized it's the aftercare. The people don't just want to finish off at the transaction, putting a call in after and saying, how's things going now? And then suddenly you start realizing it's not just paying for marketing. I'm very, very blessed in the last 6 months that most of the businesses come from word of mouth, which I'm sure everyone on this call will have. You do a good job for someone, they'll always recommend you to anywhere else. I had a call yesterday with someone that's in EXP Canada, and the brother lives here. And she was like, could you help my brother? And for us, it's not a transaction. It's just me giving him knowledge about the London market and how solicitors work, how lawyers work, how banks work, how mortgages work. And I think it's them understanding and you educating, but also be an open book, learn yourself. And those were the 3-4 points. Sorry, I've just rambled on for about 5 minutes there, but those were just the few points.
Absolutely, and very well said. And hey, you know what? Now you've got more people from Canada who are going to send you referrals. So
yeah, absolutely, and vice versa.
And vice versa, of course, absolutely. Now you have a face to a name, you have a voice to a face, and there you go. You have enough business to pass on, I'm sure, to each other, and of course a lot to India as well, to my
100%.
colleagues who are on this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Purva, over to you. So I take it that you do luxury and you also do some cross-border investments. They often go hand in hand. What have you seen working best for agents who wish to position themselves as global luxury specialists while staying credible in their home markets? How do they balance both of them?
Balancing is, for me specifically, if I say to myself, I think balancing is very basic and very easy, comes naturally to you. But I think what Mohit said over here, that you need to be in connection with your client very first. You need to build your brand in a way that they know that, oh, okay, you know what? Sunny has a reach. I know if I call Sunny, he knows somebody back in India. Or if, let me call this person, I know that they have spread their legs in a way that they know not just the local market, but international market as well. And specifically to EXP agents, what I would definitely recommend, join the luxury department. I mean, the networking that they have, the sources that they have, you can connect with. Let's say if I want to build my business somewhere in Italy, and in fact, right now I'm working with a client who want to invest in Italy, and we are working with something that's through EXP Luxury that I would able to do it. But build your brand locally that enough, that's strong, that your clients knows you better. Join your networking in a way that you are more resourceful. And before you do the business, before you earn your commission, they can come and trust you in a way that, let me go to this person knows better. I think building that brand is most important.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Purva. Well, since you spoke about Sunny, let me talk to Sunny now. Sunny, you worked with multiple developers and global property showcases. What do developers expect from agents representing them internationally? And how can Indian agents add real value when collaborating with them abroad?
Number one thing is that communication is the key, right? So first of all, we have to make sure we are representing what they have, the new build has, and giving all the facts about that. Especially nowadays, I just closed something with Lodha in Pune, and still the construction is the one thing I don't like about Indian builders is they take all the money upfront and give the property after 6 months. So that was the only complaint I got. Otherwise, they pay nicely. So communication is the key, and just making sure we are representing them nicely, and also. So if I get your question right, can you repeat the question again? I'm so sorry.
Of course, of course. I'll repeat it again. I said you work with multiple developers in global property showcases. What do these developers expect from agents representing them internationally? And how can Indian agents add real value when collaborating with them abroad? So essentially, when the agents collaborate with these developers, Indian agents collaborate, how do they add that value?
Well, knowing what that they are selling. So if you know the product, then it's very easy for you to, and who in that region or area you can collaborate and do the business with. I think that's a main key point from me.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. Over to you, Kunal. I've seen some crazy gizmo stuff in your office, virtually, of course, but I've seen that stuff, and you sent me that lovely video. I'd love it if we could somehow play that video also here. But I was super excited, and I'm looking forward to seeing your office when we come in for the roadshow. I'm going to talk about the roadshow towards the end of this, podcast. And technology is something that you understand really well, besides real estate. And technology is shaping cross-border real estate, from virtual tours to digital contracts. Which tools or platforms do you think Indian agents must master to operate seamlessly across time zones and markets?
Absolutely, Sam. So to begin with, we are on this call today in 3 different continents, different cities and countries, aligned tonight, this afternoon or evening, wherever we are at, on the US market over listings and opportunities. So tools can be as simple as what we are on today on Zoom. But beyond that, when we are mechanics of selling this month or a year or some new construction or builder developer opportunity, don't understand. It's not just process of helping them with the design selection of tech-based tools, but I still believe the basics of selling new construction has to be trained to people who have not done that before.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks a ton. Over to Harsimran, and it gives you a unique perspective. What are the global investors really asking for in today's market? And how can Indian professionals earn their trust and referrals, according to you? You do a lot of referrals between India and yourselves. So how can an Indian professional wanting to do business globally earn their trust and, of course, referrals? You're on mute.
So the same as Kunal said, it's the tools, and the tools are the tools you're using, different kind of tools to engage your clients. You get those relationships set, and the key is in the communication. So I think the communication that we need to provide to our clients here, which are our base, so that we can refer them out to an Indian market or the Dubai market. A lot of people just need to understand. A lot of people like myself have left India 20 years ago. They don't realize how much India has grown and how much more there is to grow. And it's just the trust that needs to be installed into their minds, where people, when they'll their home change, and it all starts with conversations where you can these. And as Anu said, it's I like that point where she says it's the contact sport. So the more contacts you can make, I say to my team, I'm like, put me in front of the clients and I'll get you. Rely on technology. Yes, technology is good fun, and you can engage AI as much as you think it'll help you, but it's the actual in-person meetings, or whichever way the communication can go. It could be Zoom. I think those personal stories have had the most success for me. We've had when you share something, Sam, and you say, hey, I went to Canada, I met a friend of mine, or I had extended family that lives in Canada, and we've had those conversations over a drink or coffee, and they now feel more comfortable looking at a market that they have no idea has grown so much. So this is the bridge. I mean, for people that have never been to India for the last 10 years, or Dubai, a lot of people are investing in Dubai because they've seen stories and now they've heard it from people that they know that they can trust. And you're building that trust, you're sharing personal experiences, and yes, you're using tools to stay in touch. You keep that constant communication, and you keep adding value to what they want to. So I would say sales is done through emotions. You're creating emotions on a daily basis, and once the emotions created, they'll make that decision, and now they're defending that decision with all the information you've provided. So we need to create that emotion. It could be through social media, through constant contact. And first of all, you have to be excited yourself about the success you're seeing in the place you're trying to recommend. So that's my take on it.
Absolutely. Very well said, Simran. Over to you, Anu. You bring a strong marketing and personal branding lens to the business. So my question to you is, how can agents design their online presence so it attracts international clients while still remaining authentic to their local brand, their local market, and their local position? So, somebody, they need to be recognized in their local market and, of course, build the local brand, but they need to also maneuver their online presence in a manner that it attracts international clients also to them. Nobody wants to say, I only do international and leave, the food on the table or near around them. So how would you manage the two? What's the best way in terms of marketing and personal branding?
That's a great question. I would say, like, in my opinion, the marketing is like creating an awareness in the minds of the clients or the consumers. If, for example, if I have listed a property and I have not done any marketing and people are not aware of that house, so literally speaking, that house doesn't exist. So it's like creating awareness, yes, that it is there. So we as EXP agents, I would say we have connections, or we build relationships with two people, ideally the realtors who are across the globe, as well as the clients. So these are the two people we work together, and we have the business transactions, as well as we are growing. Now, coming to like how what can we do? Like we are the valuable source for them. Like if I'm able to provide a solution to, because they are aware of the problem, but if I'm able to provide a solution to them, that means I am bringing something to the table, and I am paid for the value that I'm able to deliver. like the outcome that is coming, I am being paid for that. So that means I'm able to provide a solution to them. So coming to the online presence, there are so many things. I would say the first of all would be the emotional connection that I would be building. It could be the agents, like they can have some storytellings, they can share some reels whenever they are going out meeting people. So every single day we have some story to share. So those build very strong emotional connections. Then I would say we have to be really knowledgeable. Like we should know our product, as we have already discussed about the product knowledge. We have to be very much resourceful. What we are catering to. We have to know our local market. We have to be the local market experts. What is the market trends going on? What is the community like? The community knowledge. So these things are very much required for any agent catering to any market. And then I would say for the Indian agents, I would say, like, to be more successful, we need to have a global language, like the neutral English language. There should not be any accents or something, so that it is understood by everyone. Then we build the credibility through the social media. We have those proofs that yes, we are reliable. Then I would say the pitfalls could be that if we are not able to deliver something that we have promised, so that means respecting the timeline, and we have to be very transparent. What we are saying, it is true. So coming back to the trust.
Absolutely. It's all about trust. Fantastic. Thank you, Anu. And Jay, over to you. Jay, you've built global networks and helped connect agents across regions. What's your secret to building long-term international relationships that actually convert into repeat business?
For me, I think something even before I even started work in the field that I did, it's something my granddad said, actually. And he, back in the 1960s, he left India he went to Africa, then settled into the UK. But something that he went by was, rather than chasing the big bucks, he said, chase credibility and knowledge, which have always stayed with me. So for me, it's always been about staying visible, valuable, genuine. And when I first started connecting internationally, I wasn't trying to sell to anyone. I was just sharing market knowledge, helping people make sense of opportunities across borders, especially between the UK and Dubai and Asia. And then with that approach, I kind of built trust and built then the business came later. And then I made it a point to stay in touch regularly with people, even if it was just sharing a quick update or connecting someone with a useful contact. I think the real secret's been consistency. So when people know that they can kind of rely on you to deliver and communicate openly, I think these relationships naturally turn into repeat business and referrals. So I think that's really helped for me, anyway.
Fantastic. I think you guys have given so much of information, positivity, a way to build business for the entire, not only the eXp network, but the entire real estate community, and not only for India, but for the rest of the world as well. Thanks very much. I'd like to move now to hear one quick success story from each of you, specifically where an international connection, a referral, or a collaboration turned into a win. What did you learn that others can apply immediately? So one sweet success story, maybe, say 90 seconds of something which you could give, which gives a learning to anybody else. And you can volunteer one by one. Whoever wants to go first, please go ahead.
I can go first, Sam. So this is a very sweet story from this is back home when we post content, so a lot of people start understanding what they realize. Hey, this local in Vancouver, and people start reaching out to you for not for real estate help to begin with, and it starts with the little droplets. You get a call or you get a text. Hey, my sister's moving to Canada or my brother's moving to Canada. So I mean, you can say no to help, but that's where the story starts, and you don't realize it till it actually starts helping. Uh, you know, you're doing it without any any
No payback.
expectation of any no paybacks. You're doing it, so you pay it forward. So we've been doing it for a few years. We've been helping agents from home. A lot of students come to Canada. A lot of people rely on friends and family if they have any. Then they try to reach out to people that they think they know. So I had a few stories. Just want to share one. This realtor that works out of Chandigarh. His daughter moved to Canada, and he's like, Simran, can you help her out? So we're helping this girl, and she's been living here. She's done 2 years of studies, and now she wants to move into her own condo, and she wants to move to Montreal. And so we've connected an agent in Montreal. We're gonna get paid through that. But so the story from 2 years ago now is ending up with the sales, and there's multiple that have happened in our hometown. But this is
Really nice.
this is a connection that we made. Montreal, Surrey, and India.
Absolutely. It's a three-way connection, actually. Surrey, Montreal, and Chandigarh. Fantastic. Can I have the next person?
I think this one for me is, and I think he'll stay with me forever. I think it was about 4 years ago. I was in a place called Kent having dinner. I was staying up there for it was some sort of event, and we were staying in the hotel, and we had a meal, and the meal was amazing. So I said, can I just meet the chef who made the meal? And the chef came out. It was a sous chef. His name was Sunny. Great guy. Complimented him. We got on like a house on fire. We just exchanged numbers. This is now, we're talking 6 years ago. 6 years on, he's now an executive chef out in Dubai. I look after all of his stuff in London, and he's just been my first deal in Dubai. And it's just off the back of a conversation, just saying, you're amazing at what you do. And it was, and going back to what Simran said, it's never the first thing that you want to think that, how am I going to make money out of this situation? Because I think as realtors, and some realtors, we all know these people, they treat everyone like a check, and that's not what real estate is really. It's building that relationship, getting that through. And so now, looking after his stuff in London, meeting him 6 years ago, him being my first ever transaction in Dubai, it's almost a full 360. And I see him, every 2-3 months when I'm out in Dubai, I'll go and meet him. And it's more not meeting him at the hotel. You're coming over to my house. And we'll always talk about that one time where he came out and he was a sous chef, and I was just complimenting him. And I was, I think, 22, 23 at that time, and complimenting him in front of his boss. And he was like, I'll never forget it. So yeah, I think that as a 360 was, I mean, that will stick for me forever. And he's more like family now. It's not even a transaction. Just every time, like, I can't not go to Dubai and not see Sunny, funny enough. So yeah, I think for me that was a big one.
And of course, it does help that he's a great chef, so he probably gives us good food when you go home as well.
That's the actual real reason I'm still in touch. Really no, just joking.
Absolutely. Who's going next?
I'll go next. So I was standing actually in a line in one of the grocery store here, and the gentleman in front of me he was wearing a hat called a veteran, and I was not aware. I was not expecting any real estate. He was short on some money, and I just paid for him. After 2 years, I think this happened 2022. In 2024, I got a call from him that I have a brother who is actually in Canada, and he wants to move here because he's into recycle business. The product which they make nowadays, what is called? I'm missing the word. Which recycle business of plastics, but biodegradable. So long story short, that gentleman had my business card. Because I just gave him, because he shake hand with me, and my habit is just giving my business card right away. And then when he called me, so first I got his brother mother-in-law was on a deathbed of cancer, and they wanted her to be here, just buy a small condo. I helped them. Long story short, after that, the confidence came so much. He gave me my first $3 million in Newport Beach, which was my first listing of $3 million as a young, 3 year of experience. Then after that, he comes on all my event, whichever I do in Christmas time. He stand and he really talk about me that Sunny did help me, and he didn't even care about commission. One place, it was a Lennar new build where they did not let me sign. That time there was no, it's a COVID time, and there was no commission. I think not COVID time. I think they had no commissions program that time. After 6 months, when the building was okay, they came with the commission program, and I missed that. So I told Mr. Milan, don't worry about my commission. You like the house, go for it. And that's one act of kindness. He comes on a big stage and talk about Sunny was all about, he helped me. And that was the most, and I did like till now 5 transactions for him.
Wow, wow, wow. That's excellent. Amazing.
So a grocery store business card exchange and a shake hand.
Okay.
Sam, I'm happy to share my story. So mine is more inbound versus outbound. What I mean by that is, instead of taking clients from US based for buying real estate in Asia, it's been the other way around. And that's primarily happened because the last decade or so, my team has specialized in partnering with developers and builders. Some are Houston based, some are Texas based, some are national builders. And my team has preferred status for these builders, which means a buyer goes into a sales office. They want to buy a home, they have a home to sell, and they're not working with the realtor. They call my team for referrals. So over the years, I have had several clients of Indian origin who were based in either in India or in Middle East, buy real estate in Houston. And the bridge of evaluating the opportunity in Houston or Texas market for international buyers play the same role. They have to understand the mechanics of what it takes to buy a home and what it takes to build equity. I have not yet done transactions from US to India, but it's a reverse role. Well, I will also be specializing in selling new construction opportunity with the developed partners that you're bringing on the roadshow to Houston in mid of November. And the strategy is that what I've done for Houston market, I want to take the same clients, 1,000 plus that I've worked over the years, and take them to find opportunities in the India market.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Brilliant. And we're looking forward to that, by the way. And I'm going to, right after this, I'm going to talk about the event with all of you. Who's coming next? Purva.
I'm ready. I saw Jay's mic unmute, so I was just waiting. I thought.
Oh, okay. I saw yours on mute, but
I am ready to go. If you don't mind,
okay.
I go.
Ladies first. Come on. Jay's not going to say no.
I have a similar, I would say, I have inbound story where I have family friend's daughter who is studying over here. And I was just visiting India some time back, and they came to know that I'm a realtor, and they wanted to actually start the EB-5 process for the daughter. So I'm here helping them connect with the lawyers, and we are in fact starting a business for the daughter, investing in a business where a daughter generates the EB-5 rules and regulations and everything. That's been my very first process to do so. But the family has been so kind and so beautifully handling the whole thing. They kind of know that this is my first time, but they trust me in a way that, okay, I will be in contact with the lawyer and I'll help them out in each and every way. But it's very close to my heart where somebody trusting me being a mom now, somebody trusting me for their kid, it's very, very close to my heart.
So it's not only about real estate, it's helping somebody, who's coming into the country, immigrant, student, coming in a short-term tenure employment. Anybody, if you're helping them, they will one day, and you don't do it because you want to pay back, but they will one day make sure that, life, as they say, is a full circle. It'll come back and it'll help you. The kindness always helps. Very, very true. Thanks very much.
Sam, Jay, over add really quick, since you mentioned about EB-5, there's a strategy of setting up a center in different markets. And I'm in talk with attorneys right now to set up our location in Houston. as a location where we can process EB5 strategies for people looking for sponsorship in Houston. So this is a strategy where when you have a EB5 center in a location, then you bring international buyers and investors to come over here as well for visa status.
That is fantastic. Fantastic. Brilliant. So you're actually building something where people can come in and invest and take their EB5. So very, very good. Jay, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think something I mentioned before in terms of chasing credibility and knowledge. I think over the years, I've always worked in that way, and I've made many contacts. And going back many years ago, when I was living in Cairo for a short while my wife was working out there, we met many people, lost contact with, and recently when I joined EXP, I just put it everywhere in my socials that I'm working for. And someone connected who was one of our friends back in Cairo, but he now lives in Kuwait, and he actually bought an apartment in Birmingham, and he was like, "Look, Jay, could you help me sell it?" And it's these type of referrals that will come to you as long as you're genuinely honest and transparent with people over the years. And I think everyone has a journey, everyone deals differently, investors have their different strategies, but as long as you're genuine and consistent with yourself, business will always come, no matter what. So there's many success stories that'll come from that, and you'll be in the business for a long term.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. Over to you, Anu. I think you're who's left? Only Anu, right?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. So I would just share a little story. Like things don't happen overnight. It takes time. So for me, for months, I was sharing some messages online, some short videos, some reels, and like some little reminders on mindset, growth, power, systems, tools. And then I was not chasing the followers, but I was actually building connections. Then one fine day, I received a message from one of the agents saying that I want to work with you. I have been waiting for a mentor who understands like both systems, business, and beliefs. So I was very excited. Like I would say, if your message it carries a purpose, clarity, and it is authentic, then the right people will find you. So I would say be valuable, be visible, be real. And as we mentioned like a couple of minutes ago, the kindness, it always comes back. So there is a saying which I always follow, that in life, in case you have to choose between being kind and being right, choose kind, then you'll be always right. So that's my mantra.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
Be kind than be right, and even if you're right and you keep quiet about it and let the other person feel that he or she is right, that is true kindness. Yeah, absolutely. Very well said. Thank you very much. So guys, we are nearing the end of the episode, and we've you guys have been phenomenal. I'm going to share with you what our plans are for a road trip or a road show that we're actually doing into North America, and I'd love for you to hear this. And of course, some of you are already helping me as city ambassadors in setting this up. So thank you very much. I'd like to share that between the 7th and the 10th of November, we are planning to be in Miami from a Friday to a Monday. We are then taking our trip to Orlando on the 11th and 12th. Then we move to Houston, and we're there from the 13th to the 16th of November. Then we move to Chicago. We're there from the 19th to the 20th of November. And then we're not sure, but we're trying to come into Toronto from the 21st to the 22nd of November. So between the 7th of November to the 23rd of November, when we head out, we're doing an international road show. We will be bringing in a few developers from India. And the intent is to seek help from yourselves and others to, to help the Indian community in your home cities and surrounding cities to look at properties that are coming from developers from India. And there's an opportunity for them to buy something through EXP, where you are representing either directly or through known associates or associates that you onboard at that point of time. Whether they're from EXP or not, it doesn't matter. But as long as they come in and they help the developer, to get his inventory showcased, and then of course we hope that they will buy that or book that property, as the case may be. So these could be investments, these could be home purchases for their future, arbitrage. It could be safety. It could be just because they want a second home back home in India. So there could be so many reasons why they buy that property. And I'm looking forward to all of you as my, esteemed guests, as well as all the participants that are there viewing this entire episode. There are a lot of developers on this episode. Their relationship managers are there. We have a lot of prospects who are looking at joining EXP, of course, who are viewing this today. And we, of course, have a lot of EXP business partners, stroke agents from India as well as from overseas who are here. So, we're looking forward to having you all participate and help make this program or this roadshow an absolute success. As we're winding up, I'd like one closing line from each of you. What is your top takeaway for agents as well as for developers? Remember, they're developers also, who want to scale up their business across borders. And when I say agents, I'm talking about any business partner who is, whether he's an EXP or not an EXP, as long as he's from the real estate industry, what's your messaging for him or her? And similarly for the developers and those that work at these developer offices. So just a line or two from each one of you, please. Should we just, I'll just call names. It'll be faster that way. Mohit, why don't you start?
Yeah, I think my famous line is going to be that don't think global expansion is about geography. You need to be trusted and be traveling to making sure that your clients are going to benefit from you. Understand your market, understand the person on the other side, do something for them that's non-monetary, and you'll always get the transaction. Fantastic.
And when you talk to a developer, a famous or something which you feel a developer should be doing, what you want to give me a line on the developer as well?
I think a developer needs to be looking at what are they trying to sell to what community? What are they offering as a developer to where they're selling in? For instance, is it a development that has a cinema room because they want to have more families buying into that development? Whatever it may be, they'll always have a niche. But they need to understand the community they're selling to really ramp up the sales, to make sure people actually come and view, and the right type of people are viewing. So you don't have all spectrums, but that's my sort of take on that.
Got it. I'm sorry. What about Purva? Over to you.
If I would have to give one thing to the agents, I would say that build authentic relationship and partnership. Be authentic of what you are trying to get. Understand each investor, each person, each client has their different end goal. Try and understand that. Try and understand not everything fits for everybody. So be okay, be open to say to client that what your end goal is, this may not be the right fit. Be okay to say that. Be authentic to say that. Something for the developer, I would say, if you are like going globally, understand the dynamic, understand the culture, which aspect people are coming and meeting or having investment over there. Try and be open to understand and accept that.
Okay, excellent. Sunny?
So my number one thing, what Mohit and Purva mentioned, be authentic, be real, and don't be a secret agent. Most of the time, we are realtor, but we try don't have social media. So people will only come to you when they know, okay, you are here in this part of the world, and this is what you do. So when you are real, you attract people like that. The second thing for the builders will be, of course, what they are promising, they should always give, because most of the time frame I have seen with the Indian builders, and I have left India 15 years ago. So, but this is the way I have seen that they promise something and they don't deliver. So that's put a bad taste in the mouth sometime, and then people back out. Otherwise, I have not seen with Dubai people. Actually, I love, because recently I is non-EXP agent. I'm sorry I gave it to non-EXP, but there I felt that they actually paying the rent for till the time the construction is not over, which was very, very attractive business. Like, you buy the property and the builder will pay you the rent, so which was very attractive. And anybody, you can present that, hey, don't worry about it. If the construction period is happening, you're getting paid.
Wonderful. And let me tell you, Sunny, I just want to come in and tell you that India's changed a lot over the last 15 years. The developers are, committing what they can deliver. All the large developers for sure. And you'd be surprised the kind of best practices that they follow, the kind of systems, quality checks, processes, processing of payments, delivery timelines, and there is, of course, escrow accounts, etc., payments being done in that. And they're also delivering before timelines. So, now what has happened is a lot of large developers have come into play, and there are a lot of those that are listed companies, corporates that have moved into real estate. So it's become a very professional business. It's no longer what it could have been maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago. The Real Estate Regulatory Act and the government acting on that has made a huge change. And with professionals coming into the real estate business, even on the developer side, and building best practices, things have changed a lot. I thought I'd just put it out there.
Thank you so much. I will find out more in June when my sister will get the position. So I will say that the same thing. I just helped her to buy in Pune.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jay, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want?
Yeah, I think for Indian agents starting out, I think what they need to do is, if they are venturing into other markets, they need to study the market, study in terms of the developers, what they're about. Once they're clear on that, then with their own clients, they just need to be the agent who simplifies the complex information that's there, which they can relay back to the clients. And when the clients can feel that clarity, I think the trust will follow naturally from that. And then on the flip side for developers going into different markets outside of the country, for example, like India going into other markets, it's more about connecting with those agents who already know and understand that market, which agents are there in those countries that they want to go into, because they might already have that network already of clients ready to get those sales in for them. So yeah, I think they need to do that. And I think networks like EXP really helps, because it's a ready-made and you can fast track this whole global business that you want than if you were trying to do it on your own. So yeah, tapping into this network is quite key.
Fantastic, thank you. Harsimran?
My take would be for the realtors would be the same. I think we covered a lot. Well, our fellow realtors create emotions. We see them all over the place. We're creating those relationships and emotions, and emotions will get you sales. And the same thing with developers, especially for people in India, the developers in India. I think the market here in Canada, especially in Canada, needs to be understood better for the Indian developers to create that emotion like Dubai is doing. Dubai, you see anything that's happening in Dubai, you'll see that you can actually feel yourself living in that space more. It's a safety, it's a safer place to be. You can see your kids grow there, and they're creating that emotion that needs to be grown in Canada or even in US. When you can create that emotion, I think the developers, better than just putting it in a price perspective, hey, there's a better price point. It needs to be a place that they can call a second home for people in Canada. They can go back and revisit, or have that same lifestyle if back home, which is, I think, on a different scale since we left India. So I think my answer would be emotions. Create those emotions, and you'll have those sales.
Whether it's for realtors or for developers, it's all about emotions. Connecting
Correct.
with connecting the right property, the right product with the right people, essentially. Thanks very much. Anu?
I would say like we covered pretty much all the points, and I would just contribute a little bit that today we are living in the borderless societies. Like the technology is making the things like the world so closer these days. And I would say, coming back, as Harsimran also mentioned about the emotional connection, as well as I would say for the realtors and the developers, what contribution they are bringing to the people's lives on the daily basis, what they can contribute. So that would be my take on this.
Thank you very much. And last but not the least, we have Kunal. Over to you, Kunal. And I'm so sorry. Before you start, I see, some of the, each one of you would want to be contacted by somebody or the other, I'm sure. So it would be great if you just put in either your Meta contact or anything which connects you with others so that they can follow you on Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere in the chat as you keep going. And Kunal, you'll get time. Rest of you can do it while Kunal is, giving his bit. And when I'm talking, then of course Kunal can punch it in.
So Sam, my perspective would be from developer standpoint. If I was a developer based out of India, I would try to operate how things are done in North America. What I mean by that is, in India, when a developer is selling a property, the expectation is that they reward their sales team for the sale. The buyer who comes across to buy the project, they hire a real estate professional. They expect you to pay them, not the developer. Over the last 10 years, I've been in the business in Houston. Multiple times, developers from India or Dubai come to Houston, and the strategy has been to target direct consumers or buyers for these projects, but they don't intentionally find real estate professionals who are based in this market who are selling homes to South Asians, and their mindset is the same. Let me find the buyers directly, save the commission compensation, I can make this sale. In North America, it does not operate that way. Now, the expectation is that the buyers find opportunities through partnering with the right real estate professionals, and real estate professionals give the advice of buying or not buying. So my punchline is, if I was a developer out of India or Middle East coming to US, finding buyers over here, what they should do is laser focus on real estate professionals who are of Indian origin, or real estate professionals who sell to Indian clients, and host an event for them. If they're able to sell the projects to the real estate professionals, that would bleed into selling projects to the end consumer that the buyers are.
Brilliant, brilliant. Absolutely. Very well said.
So, you had mentioned about the roadshow. You mentioned, I do have the video lined up. If there's time allowed, it's a 60-second video if you want to show everyone.
I would love for you to show it. If you can, that'll be fantastic.
Yeah, give me a second. Can you see my screen?
We can, absolutely.
And I hope the audio comes through this time.
Yeah.
So here's a project we have in Houston's 3-story building where we have an event center, co-working space, a studio over here. Here's where we're hosting the roadshow in Houston on 15th and 16th of November. Bring the developers and share with them the strategies of partnering with them.
Absolutely. This is really phenomenal. We're looking at also possibly hosting all Indian agents, whether they're from EXP or others, at that at Kunal's premises. So thanks, Kunal. We're looking forward to it as well. And of course, the developers would also be able to interact with them and try and see how we can build a B2B relationship between the developer and ourselves. Well, thank you all. I think these insights truly form the global playbook. You guys have been wonderful. And next week, in part 3, we have The World is Your Market. And we'll talk about scaling globally and sustaining success beyond borders. Until then, keep connecting, keep collaborating, and keep going exponential. We're looking forward to having you guys on my other episodes during the course of the year. And of course, meeting a lot of you in Miami next week. And I'm sorry, this week. Why am I saying next week? This week. And and in November, I hope to see you in the US again, and possibly in Canada, in various cities across on the East Coast, and of course a little bit of the center. Houston, I believe, is in the center. My geography was never good in school, and I repented till this day. But I know Houston is sort of, is it the Midwest?
Kind of south, but yes,
I know.
I will take any location you give me.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys, and thank you all guests, guest speakers, panelists, and of course all participants. All of you are wonderful. I see so many loyalists that come every episode, and you guys have been phenomenal. But this is really an outstanding panel of 7 of you with me as your anchor, and I'm actually honored and humbled by your presence. Thank you once again.
Thank
you. Thank you, Sam.
Sam, I want to add something before you go. First of all, India got a true leader after many years. And I was telling one international client that India, I will not say anything bad, but I was saying India deserves a better leader. And finally, when I saw your name, so India finally got a better leader, because and I used to say back like 3 years ago, India deserves much better, and India can produce better leaders.
I'm sure my predecessor was as good. I always tell people that different doctors do things different ways. Whether when you see a patient, somebody looks at it with, somebody gives one kind of medicine, somebody the other. So, I have a great connect with my predecessor, and I love that. But thank you so much. You've been very kind to me. I do not deserve as much as you've told me, but thank you. That's really kind of you.
Thought when Sunny was saying stuff, I thought he was about to make a dance move.
Oh yeah.
I believe he's dancing. Let's see.
So
come on.
Let's go. Right hand. Spread happiness.
Spread happiness.
Spread kindness. And you all know, don't forget to dance.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
That's amazing.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love the energy, guys. Thank you very much. This has been one of the coolest shows that we've had. Thank you, and looking forward to seeing you guys very soon.
Thank you, Sam. Thanks, guys. Lovely meeting you.
Recording stopped.